Business and rather remarkable news at Facebook, which announced today that it had signed up its 500 millionth user. Not bad for a website that didn't even exist until 6 years ago. The story of its creation by founder Mark Zuckerberg has become almost mythological. Soon a movie will bring that story to life, but as the movie makers say, you don't get to 500 million friends without making a few enemies. So who is Mark Zuckerberg? Diane Sawyer went to Facebook's Palo Alto headquarters to find out what makes the 26-year-old CEO tick.
500 million. That's the mind-boggling number of users Facebook hit this week. To give you an idea of just how many people that is, it's the population of the United States, Japan, and Germany combined. Hard to believe that the elusive, very young CEO Mark Zuckerberg founded Facebook only 6 years ago.
This a milestone for you, though? When you were dreaming, can we get to 80 million?
It's definitely pretty surreal.
If it keeps growing at its current rate, by 2013, every single person in the world who is online will be on Facebook. Case in point?
You might be our 500 millionth user.
I know. You didn't know that I'd be the one to do it. Right?
Who would have figured? We never would have gotten there without you.
That's right. You were out there thinking, I've got 499,999. Who possibly could sign on this
Diane
late?
Sawyer.
Oh, your Facebook friend.
Well, so are you going to add me as a friend?
I want everybody here to be careful about what you post on Facebook.
It is in the DNA now of the American culture, not to mention the world's. And its worth? Estimated around $24 billion, but no one knows for sure, and Zuckerberg isn't telling.
I know it's a private company. How much profit? How much income? How much profit?
No, we're not going to answer that question. That's the advantage of being a private company.
Want to give us a hint?
No.
All right. IPO next year?
At some point along that path, I think it'll make sense to have an IPO, but we're not running the company to do that. We're running the company to serve more people.
Amazingly, 2 years after he dropped out of Harvard, Zuckerberg was offered $1 billion for Facebook, and he said no.
We really just believe in what we're doing. Right? It was a difficult
But you
decision.
can believe in what you're doing and take astronomical amounts of money for it, too.
Well, we just felt that doing that and going down that path would not help us build Facebook out to what we thought it could be.
At 26, he is now a Silicon Valley icon, though famously shuns the big mogul lifestyle.
What does it mean to you to be a billionaire right now?
Well, I'm not. I mean, the company is a private company, so I don't really have access to any money like that. But
Would we be surprised if we saw how you live right now?
I think so. It's pretty simple. It's a pretty small house. But the most important thing to me is to be within walking distance of the office, so every morning I can just wake up and walk 5 or 10 minutes to work.
Still, he has come a long way from the Harvard dorm room where he and his roommates had the idea to put the college student directory known as the Facebook online. The idea was just to connect students with their friends at the college.
What we thought was that someone would build something like this. But as college students, we thought that there was no chance that we would be able to play a part in building that.
As with any creation myth, it's been hard to separate the facts from the legend. Just who built it along with him? How much of the company they're entitled to has been fraught with controversy. There have been so many lawsuits, settlements over the years, even one against his close friend and roommate.
They're saying we stole the Facebook. I know what it says. So did we?
One version of the growing pains about to become very public in the upcoming film, The Social Network.
Your actions could have permanently destroyed everything I've been working on. We have been working on. Did you like being a joke? Do you want to go back to that? Mark!
The trailer for the movie portrays Zuckerberg as a geeky, egocentric, stop-at-nothing force.
As for the charges, I believe I deserve some recognition from this board.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
I don't understand.
Which part?
Have you seen the trailer for the movie, The Social Network?
Someone showed me part of it, but
What did you think? What did you think when you say there?
It's interesting, but it's fiction, right? I mean, there's been a lot of stories that have been written about Facebook that are fiction and make it seem like what we did were interesting in different ways. But what I tell everyone at the company is we shouldn't be that focused on things like that, right? I mean, we can't be focused when people try to say things that aren't true.
It's one thing to say that, it's another thing to know that a movie is coming. It has to affect you in human terms.
I think that a lot of these things are distractions. but
Is that
over
all you
time,
think?
I really believe that people get remembered for what they build, right? And if you build something great, right, people don't care about what someone says about you in a movie, or even what you say, right? They care about what you build.
What's the worst you've ever felt about it?
You know, not specifically this episode, but I started Facebook when I was 19, right? So I was just a kid, right? And I knew nothing about business and nothing had ever been written about me. So a lot of these experiences along the way have been really new, and it took me some getting used to.
But you
back
now,
then.
looking back, if you could tell that 19-year-old kid something, what would you tell him?
I think that the things that you learn along the way are part of what makes you who you are.
Anything you would have done differently?
I mean, I would have done a lot of things differently. I hope that instead of making the mistakes that I made, I would have made different mistakes. But, you know, I mean, I think that this has been an extremely educational experience.
Some of it bruising for you inside?
But I think all mistakes are, right? I mean, when you break up with a girlfriend or have a failed relationship, right? I mean, those things are bruising, but you learn from that, and that's part of what makes you who you are.
The claims continue to dog Zuckerberg to this day. The latest from a man who says he was promised a majority stake in the company when Zuckerberg worked for him as a programmer back in college.
A lawyer said that she was unsure if you had signed a contract giving a man 84% of the company.
If we said that we were unsure, I think that was likely taken out of context, because I think we were quite sure that we did not sign a contract that says that they have any right to ownership over Facebook.